Hey ladies, I want to talk about leaving toxic relationships, abusive relationships, and this is not, I talk a lot about on my channel, like healing toxic energy, right? And the truth is, I've had a really, really long journey in that, like a very, very long journey in that. So while most of my videos are what I'll call the more advanced version of moving through toxic dynamics, I want to talk about this because it's really, really important. It's really, really important. It's really challenging to leave an abusive relationship, and so I want to share my experience and support the women that have been in these situations and are seeking support and moving through that. And it's not something I really talk about, honestly. As a woman who is very strong and independent, I've had a lot to heal around, not only like the abusive relationship that I was in, and there's layers to that, right? Like I'm talking like physical abuse. I'm talking like a man smashed my face into a wood floor, right? So I'm talking about that, but I'm also talking about I'm also going to talk about like emotional mental abuse as well, right? Because that entire dynamic was extremely toxic, and I've dated like emotionally abusive men. I've dated mentally abusive men, right? I have seen it all, honey. Everything under the sun, right? I have seen every kind of toxic relationship you could probably imagine. I have dated actual fucking gutter trash, right? And that was my journey because I'm here to support people. So I've been talking a lot about, healing spiritual bonds. I've talked about healing toxic relationships, emotional, mental healing, right? And taking responsibility for yourself on that journey. That is the journey. But I really, really want to talk about this as a woman in her power because you would probably see me and not think that I would ever date somebody like that. And that's why it was super challenging. It's super challenging me to talk to you about this right now because of that, right? I've always been very strong, but I also come from a toxic past, and therefore I attracted toxic dynamics. And so, I wanna share this for the women who are in that type of dynamic, who have moved through that type of dynamic. And there's a lot of like people don't understand because it's hard to get support when you're moving through that type of dynamic because one, you're so deep in it, right? You're so deep in it. You're stuck in the wounding and you're stuck in the relationship. And it's really, really hard to remove yourself from that. And people on the outside are often like, why are you with him? Just leave him. Like, just leave. Why are you in this? And they don't understand, right? They don't understand what you're moving through. So I want to recognize you in that. I want to hold space for that. And I want to say this to you right now. I am not a therapist. I am not a licensed medical professional. I do support people on, like, I do spiritual, emotional, mental support and coaching and helping you come into your power. That's what I do. So I'm not going to sit here, like, please, like, if you need support in that way and you need to seek professional help, which honestly, like, if you're in an abusive relationship, then please get the emotional mental health that you need. Please go and see somebody. It's your life. It's your life. Seriously. Like, it's not a joke. And I know, like, like, it's like, I know the story, like, I don't know how to get the support. I don't know who to go to. I don't have the money, right? Like, there's many stories around this, but I'm telling you, this is your life. You need to take that seriously, and you need to figure out how to get the support to get out of this relationship. So number one, I'm going to say that off top, right? All I'm doing is speaking from my experience, and to be honest with you, I really don't even want to talk about this, but if it can, save one woman's life, if it can help save one woman, then it's worth it for me to talk about this experience, and just again in general, moving through these dynamics, because it's very challenging. It's very challenging, and I am someone who's like, I don't even want to talk about the past, right? But like, I went through those things for a reason, and so I want to be able to support people in that, because it's tough. It's tough. And what I want to give you from this, hopefully, is some encouragement to step into your own power and taking that step forward, to seek the help you need, to recognize how to get out of the situation that you're in, and off top, I want to start with saying this, that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. And I'm here with you. I know it's really tough. It's really, really tough. You can get through this. You will get through this. And you have to choose that. You have to choose that. And that's why I want to start with this, of like the feeling that there's something wrong, right? Because, when I was in that relationship with that man who physically hurt me, right? And again, this is where people are like, say things, and it's like, the relationships don't start that way. It's not like when you date an abusive person, it's not like it ever started that way, right? It becomes that. And, even when I was with him, I believed that, I knew I came from a toxic past. I knew the relationship was toxic, right? But I didn't know how to get out of it. And I didn't know how, I didn't believe that I could find somebody who could treat me well, because I knew I was participating in the exchange. I did think it was me. I didn't just think it was me. I knew it was him. But I also thought it was me, right? And two things are happening here, right? It is true. It was me. I had toxic shit. That's why I was engaged in this type of dynamic. So that is number one. But number two, it's not your fault. It's not you. You don't deserve to be treated like this, right? You're not confined to this type of dynamic in your life, right? And this is why I talk about personal accountability, because when you recognize your own wounding and you recognize your patterns, right? You recognize the patterns of your past and why you attracted this type of dynamic into your life, then you can heal those wounds, and then you can get out of that situation, right? So, and I want to say this because I've always been the friend who's there for everybody, right? And I was the one that everyone always thinks I'm fine, right? Because I'm very good at hiding my pain. I'm very good at presenting, presenting that I'm okay, right? Maybe that's you. Maybe you're like that too, right? You're very good at like, oh no, it's good, I'm fine. Everyone's like, you know what my friends say? They're like, oh, we're not worried about you, Flo, because we know you're strong, we know you're fierce, and like, many of those people have no idea what I've been through. Truly. Most people in my life have zero fucking clue what I've been through. So, if you're in that, I see you, okay? You're not alone, but you also have to know that you've got to reach out for support, right? Because if you don't reach out for support, then people don't know you're not okay, right? If you just share everything you're fine and you protect that version of yourself and you show up in the world where you're like, you know, you're this, and then you go home and you're in this really fucked up situation and you don't have anybody to talk to about it and you don't know how to communicate those things, and you probably have friends in your life who don't make space for you to even share those things, right? So these are all part of the wounds that you've got to heal through. And number one, just building right relationships with other people. But that also takes building right relationship with self and recognizing your own needs, right? That's where it really starts. And that's why it really starts with claiming your own empowerment and like, you know what? I deserve better. I don't want to be treated like this. And, you know, there's been a couple moments where I've really had to look at, you know, even in the last toxic relation, like mentally, emotionally, it wasn't physically toxic, right? It was like mentally, emotionally toxic relationship that I was in. And I had attracted that man back into my field to release myself from that final wounding, okay? Because I had already like leveled way up, right? But I had attracted him, this other man, back, like this type of like toxic dynamic back into my field because I was still being called to heal a certain wound around this, an exchange around this. And even just driving with this man, right? Reckless. This is a reckless, fucking reckless, right? Putting my life in danger. There's multiple times where this man put my life in danger in a car. Someone pulled a gun out on me, right? Because he was putting me in unsafe environments, right? And going back to the man that I shared with you that bashed my face in to the wood floor, right? He could have killed me. He could have created brain damage. I could have died, right? Those are the situations that I put myself in, okay? So I want you to sit with that first. Number one, are you putting yourself in a situation where you're giving someone else authority over your life, putting your life in danger because of a man? I really need you to sit with that, please. Okay? If you're putting your life in danger because of a man, then please hear this. Please seek the help. Please go talk to a professional so that you can get the help you need, right? And it's not like, again, it's not like, you know, like, it's not something that is inherent to you, okay? This is toxic conditioning, probably that you were exposed to, that you grew up with, right? You probably came from an unsafe home, right? So all you know is not being safe, right? That's why when I was with this first man and I didn't believe there was more for me at the time. Like I did believe, but I couldn't believe because it was all I knew. All I knew was toxic relationships. All I knew was trauma. All I knew was abuse. All I knew was love attached to harm, right? That's all I knew, was that pain was attached to love. And that is not accurate. And you can heal this, and you can move through this, and you can come into your power, and you can attract healthy relationships. I promise you, you know, even in so many points of my journey, right? Even when I was like way deeper healed in my journey, right? And when what I'll call normal men would like hit on me, I was so how do I want to say this? I was like, oh, there's no way I could be with a man like this. He's too normal, right? That was my story. Like, he's too normal. There's no way that I could be with a man like this. And, you know, even like the healthiest relationship that I've been in, and he was someone who showed me, you know, a way healthier version of love and exchange. But even when I actually left him, and in leaving that relationship, you know, I expressed to him, I was like, listen, I still have some really deep wounds that I haven't healed. You know, I thought I healed a lot of this, and I did, right? But I still had some really deep wounds I had to heal, because I couldn't show up in a space. I was still hiding, and I still couldn't feel like I couldn't be seen. I couldn't like fully use my voice, because there was part of me still stuck in this place that from the past, in the wounding, right? That I couldn't participate in that dynamic. And the truth is now, like, I see a red flag a mile away. I'm telling you right now. If you watch some other videos, I will never, ever date anyone even remotely unhealed. Like, not, like, it's like, absolutely not. Get the fuck away from me, right? Like, I will not ever date an unhealed, fucked up little boy ever again, because I've been through it. I have been through it, right? Now I know what the fuck a man is, and it took me a long time to figure that out, because I was not shown what a man was. And not only that, I wasn't shown what love was in a healthy way. I wasn't shown what it meant to be in a healthy exchange and a healthy dynamic. I had no idea what that looked like, right? So that's why I want to like really like share with you is that, like, again, there's nothing wrong with you like, oh, I'm fucked up, so I can't attract this, right? And the truth is that all you were shown was unhealthy love, and so therefore you're just repeating that cycle. When you can recognize that, right, then you can release yourself, right? Because, you know, like with this first man, like, we got into physical altercations together, right? You know, that's part of it. It's like, oh, I'm part of the problem. And then again, it's true, I was part of the problem. But that does not mean, okay, I don't give a fuck, right? Hear this. I don't give a fuck how unhealed you are, or if you're whatever. If a man is physically hurting you, that is not you. That is not you, okay? So recognize that. If a man is hurting you, he is deeply fucked up, okay? He is deeply wounded. That is abuse, okay? And I'm not saying that you're not an active participant in the toxic bond, but I am telling you right now, recognize if you're using that excuse to stay in this bond, okay? And then, you know, the other big thing is, like I said, you're not alone, and there's people that get it. And that's, again, why I want to just, I'm making this video just to acknowledge that with you, you know, and help you step in your power, is that, like, there are people out there who can help you. And, you know, there's one woman, you know, who, she was my boss. at this time, because here's what abusers do. They isolate you from friends and family. They minimize you and make you feel, right, super fucking alone and isolated, and therefore you deepen your attachment to them because you feel so disconnected, and then they become the one that you go to because you're in it, right? They cut you off from people that are in your life. They cut you off from relationships, and they make you feel bad if you try to spend time with other people. They make you feel bad if you go to see your friends, or if you're happy. You know what this dude did to me? He said, when I was like near the end of this and I was coming into my power, and like I would be laughing, I would like read a text and be laughing, and he would get up in my face like, what are you laughing at? What's funny? Like, that's how fucking scary it is, dude. And I know if you're like in that, like if he saw me happy, right, he would be trying to like take that and put me back into fear and isolation. And if I would go out with friends, then he would make me feel bad about leaving him, and I would invite him, and then he would make me feel bad and try to not get me to go, right? And that's what I want to tell you. The biggest thing that pulled me out of that relationship was finding my own purpose and building community. Those were the two big things that got me out of that relationship. I was talking about my boss. I'm sorry I didn't share that message. She, at the time, because she could tell, right? Strong woman, you know, she could tell. She said, hey, if you're in an abusive relationship, like, let me know, and like I want to support you. And I was still so isolated and hiding, right, that I couldn't even like tell her, right? I couldn't even be like, yeah. I was like, and I was still I had so much pride in myself, right? I was like, no, I'm not in an abusive relationship. Like, we're just like fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, I would tell these stories because I didn't want to admit that I was in that type of dynamic, right? But she was, I didn't get help from her, right? But she was a wake-up call for me to say, oh my God, like, this woman is seeing what's happening and she doesn't even know me. You know what I mean? She saw this and she was like, let me help you. And I couldn't receive it at the time, but it was a doorway. She was a doorway to helping me, step into that power. So, and this is why, like, maybe you've heard the term that it takes many times to leave an abuser. This man that I left, he stalked me. He showed up at my parents' house. He showed up at my school. I had started school. He showed up at my school. I had to ask my professor for help. I was like, this dude is like, won't leave me alone. He was like trying to like get with like this other girl in my program and try to like manipulate me, and was like, so it is scary. It is scary, and I get that. And and I even, a friend recently had been like, I think, had said something like, oh, I met this girl, I think she's in an abusive relationship, and she said, I'm going to report it. And I said, well, careful, because a lot of times you're just activating the abuser and you're making it more difficult for the woman, right? So it's highly complex, and this is why I'm telling you, like, I am in no way a professional that's going to help you out of this situation. I just want to empower you to take the steps to get out. That's what I want to do with you today. That's it. So, I know it's really tough. I know it's really tough if you're with someone and, even like you're watching this video in secret, right? You're doing things in secret. You don't know how to be resourced. And I get that. Go online, find the tools, find the support. They are there. There's people that can support you. right? You know, if you, like I said, community, if there's someone in your field that you feel like you can trust and reach out to, then do that. If you need to say, hey, I'm going to stay with, you know, family for a week, I'm going to do this, whatever. Remove yourself from the environment and get the support that you need. Okay? So, you know, I think the big thing around it is like the feeling of like you're in too deep, right? I think that's really the big thing. The hiding, right? And feeling like you can't, like, there won't be a way out, that you're too stuck, that, you know, like I said, you're an active participant in the dynamic. And what I can tell you right now is if that's what you're moving through, you need to find the help to get out, and then you need to focus on your self-growth and not put yourself in an environment with another man until you have done healing on yourself, right? And we do learn through relationships, absolutely. You know, there's going to be layers of working out of toxic bond, right? Like I said, I've dated layers of toxicity, right? From abusive to like emotionally, mental, and manipulative, right? To, you know, people just trying to take my power, just trying to minimize me and make me feel bad, right? There were so many layers because that's that manipulation energy, right? A man who is deeply wounded, you know, is like their entire existence is to manipulate you, right? That's everything that they're doing, is to manipulate you. You've got to start recognizing the behavior. You've got to start recognizing their behavior and your behavior, right? And you've got to start seeing these dynamics that you're interacting with, right? And you've got to start processing emotions from the past, right? Because, again, more than likely, you grew up in a very unsafe home and you were not shown love and safety. You were shown love and harm, right? So you've got to start, like I said, by taking care of your own needs, holding space for that. And you've got to connect with the worthiness in your own being, that you are worth more, right? Because if you were in this situation, even growing up, right, you were probably told you weren't good enough or you were worthless, or, you know, I don't know, man, like there's all kinds of really fucked up shit that people say to their kids or do to their kids because they're deeply, deeply, deeply unhealed, right? So just because your caretakers treated you that way does not make it true. That is their wounding. That is their wounding that they projected onto you, okay? So when you start this journey, right, it's really sitting with the emotional wounding that you experienced and recognizing where you were hurt, where you weren't loved, where you weren't taken care of, where your needs weren't met. And then replacing that with taking care of your own self, right? Stop seeking this man to take care of you. He doesn't know how. He never will know how. He does not know how to take care of you. And you will not attract a man who knows how to take care of you until you begin this own healing within yourself. Okay? So that's why it's deeply important that you get therapy to process these emotions. Also check out my video on somatic healing, because I really go into how to start sitting with yourself and processing your own emotional space, right? And you've also got to start recognizing that whatever he's putting on you is his projections, right? he is deeply unhealed. So he's trying to make you feel bad about who you are. Okay? And you're allowing that because that's how you've been treated, right? So when you sit with these emotions of the past, you can start seeing, okay, well, this is what I was shown when I was younger. I was shown I was not worthy of love. And so now I'm continuing to try to get love from someone who doesn't show me love, who doesn't value me, who doesn't respect me, and doesn't treat me how I deserve to be treated, right? How do you deserve to be treated? I don't give a fuck what you did. You do not deserve to be treated that way, okay? You do not deserve to be treated that way, okay? So sit in your own heart, hold space for your own heart, and say, I do not deserve to be treated this way. I do not deserve to be treated this way. I deserve love. I am worthy of love as I am. I deserve to be treated with love and respect. And I claim that in my life now. I will not be abused. I will not be treated this way. I claim love. I claim myself. I claim my body. I claim my heart. I claim my own soul sovereignty. Okay? Call this in. Call this in for yourself. Okay? Call this love into your field. Ask for the help. Internally, physically, call in the help. You know, and there's a lot of therapists making videos now too. There's a lot of people, you know. If you don't feel like you can find someone physically yet, there's plenty of videos online. Seek the help. And start with, I deserve more. I deserve better. I claim my own heart. Say these things, repeat these things to yourself. I call in something different. I do not receive this in my being anymore. I will not continue to participate in this dynamic. Claim it. Claim it in your own heart. Okay? Let it come into your being. I know, because it's like you've never felt it, right? You've never felt what it feels like to receive that love into yourself, right? From anybody else, not even from yourself. It starts with you. It starts with loving yourself, okay? Start by telling yourself, I love you. I love you. I'm not going to treat you like this anymore. I'm not going to let you get treated like this anymore. I will not allow you to be treated like this anymore. I choose different. I choose now. I choose today. I choose different. I will not continue. I'm here with you. I know. I know. I know you feel super alone. I know it's hard. I promise you, my pain has become my greatest power. It's a superpower, okay? You're claiming your superpowers. You're going through this so you can become the best version of yourself. Claim it. Claim it right now. Claim more for yourself. Okay? Tell yourself, I love you. I love you. I love you. You are worth more. You deserve more. You are worthy of love. Say it. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of being treated with respect. I am worthy of healthy relationship. I am worthy of being taken care of. I am worthy of rest. I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of joy. I am worthy of happiness. Claim it. I claim happiness in my life. I claim joy in my life. This is your power. Claim it. Claim it. No, it's really, really hard. But it's your path. You chose it for a reason. You did, you know? You chose this journey for a reason. It's not for you to stay in this. It is not for you to stay in this. It's for you to see how you're not going to be treated. It's for you to claim your own power. It's for you to claim love in your life. You know? Man, do I know what love is, because I know what it's not. You know? I know what it's not. You know? I'm telling you, it's been a super long journey for me to come into this power. And I fully believe in you. I know you can come into your power. I know you're strong. I know you're strong. That's why you're with someone who's trying to keep you small, right? Your soul wouldn't have put you through this journey if she didn't know you couldn't come out of it on top, in power, in love, in success, in happiness, in joy, right? Ask your soul for help. She is you, right? She is you. Show me the way. Show me what to do. Show me who to talk to. Show me where to go. Tell me how to get out of this. Help me get out of this, right? You're gonna get out. If you're here with me right now, you're already choosing yourself, right? You're already choosing yourself. You're already choosing different right now. You're doing it, okay? It's a process. It's a process. Okay? It's time. It's time for you to claim your own heart. It's time for you to claim your own being. It's time for you to claim yourself, okay? It's time to make a move. It's time to make a move. If you don't have community support, find it. Even if it's online right now. Like I said, even if it's online. There's all kinds of online therapists as well. There's, like I said, there's videos, there's online therapists. Go start a class. Go start an art class, right? Art saved my life 100 times over. I'm telling you. Go start a class. Write. Do ceramics. Like, go do something. Meet some people, okay? Go meet some people. Go spark some joy in your life. Go find something that you feel excited about. Connect with that. Connect with those people, right? Reach out. Reach out for community. You're not alone, okay? You're not alone. That's why I'm making this video, because I know there's a lot of women who have been in situations, who are in situations, and feel super alone and don't know how, don't know what to do, don't know how to do it. But you gotta put yourself out there. You gotta choose different. You gotta communicate. I deserve more. Go out. If you have friends that you're just showing up, if they're safe people to have these conversations with, like, look, I'm not safe and I need help. I'm not safe and I need help. If your friends aren't safe, and there's a good chance your friends aren't safe, right? Because it's a journey to learn healthy partnerships. And if your friends aren't seeing you on a deeper level, then, you know, part of it is you not communicating, but part of it is that, you know, they can't even see you because they're in their own little world, right? They're not recognizing your experience, right? So find something that can spark the joy in your heart and connect deeper into that, you know? You know, I think I'm going to make, you know, a part 2 on this of really talking about toxic relationships and dynamics, and recognizing and removing yourself from that. But I feel like this video is very specific to women that have been in this type of dynamic and need support. And so that's what this video is become right now. And so I want to honor what that is and honor where you're at in your journey. And, you know, a lot of my other videos, I talk about emotional healing and recognizing your own behavior and healing those wounds of the past. And I will, you know, continue to make those so that you can start creating your own set of tools to become empowered on your journey and to step into a place of healed love within yourself and then healed love within relationships. So I think I want to leave this one here. And I see you. I love you. I believe in you. And you got this. You do. You really do. You got this. You're going to get out. You're going to get out of that. And you're going to create something different. And what's really beautiful, right, is the people that you're going to help, right? People that you're going to help because of your pain. That's the power. Truly. You know, it doesn't feel like I don't give a, right now, it doesn't matter, right? But like, it will. It will, you know? I'm grateful. Even before I made this video, it was funny because I was like, oh yeah, was it worth it to help, what I said, to help one woman, right? I was like, yeah, was it worth it? No. Yeah, it is fucking worth it. It's totally fucking worth it if I can help save one woman's life. 100 fucking %. So I'm here with you. You know, I know how to love because I know what it's not, right? You're so strong and you're gonna get out of this. I promise you that. But you have to choose. You have to make the choice. You have to make the move. You have to choose your own value. You have to honor that and claim it and step out of that. You will not get there if you do not make that step for yourself. You have to. You have to take that leap of faith. And I'm telling you, it's going to be the greatest step that you've taken. And it's going to open a doorway of a beautiful, beautiful life. Yeah, it's going to be a lot to process and a lot to move through and a lot of suffering in your own heart. You're going to have to recognize and heal. It's going to be a lot of internal work. But I promise you, the gift on the other side is your freedom, your peace, your power, and love. The love you're really seeking, right? I promise you, greatness is on the other side of this. Okay? You got this, okay?